Holy Archangel of God, Michael the commander, the sword-bearing servant of the Lord Most High, the sword-bearing servant of the Lord Most High.
Beloved Michael speaks. Hail, O Father of light and life eternal. I stand on the planet Earth among the spirits whom I vowed to bring home. Hail, thou eternal Mother, the hem of whose garment I kissed before I left the celestial light of thy radiant presence, and to whom I promised I should not return home until every spirit spark born out of thine own bosom, engendered by thy light and destined to immortality, should be God-free. Tonight I hold within the compass of my aura a mighty throbbing city. Millions and millions of sleeping souls stir in their sleep this night, and they shall awaken, for they are my own. I am here because among those who dwell in this shadowland are some who have remembered the light, some who have believed that angels and devas and masters have reality, and because the door has been opened through free will to my presence. O almighty parents of this universe, in thy name I make the supplication for the redemption of these sin-ridden souls of men. Through the free energies voluntarily poured forth on the living altar of life by these, the guardian spirits, grant thou these souls release. I invoke from the sun behind the sun dispensations that have never been known. I, Michael, invoke light from the sun behind the sun. My voice shall not be silent. My presence shall not cease to stand within the shadow while there remains yet one enmeshed. Enough. It is enough. I am life speaking. I am that life, self-consciously and intelligently dedicated to the preservation of the spiritual destiny of every soul who cheerfully and joyously left the bosom of the eternal and come into form. It is my reason for being. Why else should I receive of the ceaseless flow of the universal God electronic substance unless I serve and set life free? I speak through the very energy dedicated, consecrated, molded, and sustained by unascended beings, and those energies are part of the mental, the feeling world, the actual physical structure, and the etheric consciousness of every man, woman, and child belonging to this evolution, incarnate and discarnate. Enough. Light, perfection, and God's way shall manifest. While there are among the souls of men, bound yet by karma and limitations, those of you who are willing to qualify life constructively, there is hope for redemption for every electron clothed and qualified with impurity that is yet a part of the breathing and living body of God Himself. I love you. I came from the heart of the eternal, dedicated to watching over the expansion of your soul light, the development of your spiritual maturity, until the final hour when, in dignity and God mastery, you stand revealed, a royal prince or princess in the house of the celestial King. I live for that day. I am your friend, fierce, true, in my determination that you linger no longer in the shadows of the centuries, in a limiting consciousness builded out of your dreams. Yet I am gentle as a mother in the development, the fanning of your light, the tiniest spark of faith, the smallest breath of hope, the most feeble prayer. O God, how I love any tiny flickering ember from whence my love might fan again the flame of enthusiasm and love of God to set life free. To you, O beloved liberty, silent watcher of this city, to you who have covered your celestial eyes so that you need not look upon inequity, to you whose shining pinions have been folded long about you, as in self-chosen exile you stand, your radiation alone keeping the souls in this metropolis from the second death. O liberty, I bring you news from home. I bring you love from God the Father. I bring you a crown woven out of the garlands of the flame flowers of the sun by the hands of your own mother, and place it upon your brow. Would that these children might know your watchful, constant care. How often have you breathed hope into their hearts in the night when, seemingly alone in the confines of their solitary chambers, there was despondency. By how many bedsides have you stood in how many brothels? O liberty, daughter of heaven, I bring you love from home. I bring you courage. You shall return. One day from among these very people there shall arise one who shall stand guardian over the new city that will rise in great perfection where New York City now stands, and into my own arms, O child of the Father, shall I take you. May mankind someday know what the angels, the silent watchers, the divas have done in their conducting of the radiation of heaven through the lower atmosphere of earth, making the very physical breath breathed into the nostrils life-giving rather than filled with the actual poison which would destroy the physical form. O shining divas of the cathedrals, blessed watchers of the churches, O glorious angels standing over the missions in the Bowery and Chinatown, I love you. I bring you the love of home. O ministering angels over the great institutions, you who are cognizant that the 7 archangels are in the atmosphere of this city tonight, I bring you courage. Alive within your city are people who know of you, people who love you, people who will one day walk through those hospitals and institutions and, connecting with the vibratory action of your vital selves, externalize healings, balance, purity, freedom, and peace. No longer shall those grails you carry, filled with the elixir within which is the actual substance of miraculous healing and renewal, remain unused. Great and mighty divas, angels, powers, every silent watcher in this city, invert those cups this night. Let that substance flow. Let that substance flow and free imprisoned life. O God, children of earth, you live in the midst of a kingdom inhabited by beings of perfection, voluntary exiles from the glory of the celestial court. Remember them as you walk your streets, visit your sick, pass through your churches. Acknowledge those silent ones above, those mighty divas whose ministrations have saved the mankind of earth from mass insanity. I challenge you to do it. They have names and feelings and purpose. They have love and hope just as you have. They have stood many centuries, in this country perhaps not so long, but in Europe for thousands of years, in Asia for hundreds of thousands, and their gifts are what? qualified life. Now it is all very well to speak cosmically, you say, but let us take the simple explanation which enables you to live better. What do the divas hold? What does liberty hold? What do I radiate and bring? Qualified life, that is all. Through free will, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, year by year, century by century, it is builded into a heritage that is beneficial for the race. What do you offer life? Each one of you has lived almost as long as I. You came out of the same eternal Father, Mother, God, have had the same free will and choice, the same intelligence, and exactly the same light. Think upon it. Your Master Jesus has said, "It were wise that you lay up your stores in heaven." He meant to lay up within the glory of your own causal body momentums of good that can be used and utilized from time to time beneficially to bless life. You have lots of momentums of irritation, depression, etc. I shall not make you uncomfortable. I just wish to give you examples, for homely examples drive truth home better than spiritual aphorisms. Now I hear often, even in this room tonight, lifestreams say, "Oh, that is all very well for Lord Michael, or Jesus, or some other great power, but what could I do, limited as I am, in poor health, perhaps half a lifespan spent?" You can qualify life. You cannot stop qualifying life and have being. Beloved ones, think this through in practical terms. We have come to reach your consciousness, not for amusement. We have come to teach you the simple law that life is qualified by thought and feeling. Thought does very little. Feeling is a dynamo, and the meekest and mildest soul, when fired by self-justification, qualifies feeling with a power which meets my own. It is marvelous. It is a gift of God that you can qualify life. You have built momentums, as I said. Some of them are shadows. But you have also built beautiful momentums, momentums of faith, the faith that stands in the face of almost insurmountable odds, that stands in the face of reason, faith that stands in the face of human appearances. As Job said, "Even though God himself should slay me, yet would I believe." You have builded momentums of great wealth and beauty and refinement. You have builded momentums of healing and teaching, each of bringing a different heritage to the heart and throne of Sanat Kumara and offering it as your gift to life. It is a magnificent sight. I have never seen the like of it since this planet Earth took on the discord and disharmonies which bind it round. Within the causal body of the seemingly limited life streams who are among you are tremendous momentums upon which the hierarchy count for the salvation of the planet. You were taught years ago by your Master Jesus to reach into your causal body and draw forth those momentums and charge and charge and charge them into your world and into the worlds of others. I remind you of it. If you have no such momentums, you have opportunity because you are qualifying life even while you are sitting here listening at me tonight. I repeat, you will be qualifying life even while you are sitting here listening at me tonight. You will be qualifying it while your body is asleep, and when you awake tomorrow morning, you will be qualifying it again. For the constant stream of electronic light that flows from the heart of God never stops. It is relentless, waking, sleeping, day and night. The little tiny electrons carry a perfect pattern within them, flowing down into your heart and out into your world, becoming the light of the world, or the death shroud. So, That is where application comes in. The opportunity to build momentums where they are lacking, opportunity to call them forth when they are already active in your causal body, opportunity to use them wherever you have them for the good of the whole. Then you will see the great ones weave all those colors, all those momentums in classwork, in group work, and in endeavors such as this into a tapestry which is offered as part of the great divine plan. May I say that you are by no means the entire hope of the world, but you are a great integral part because you are illumined from our side as to what we are doing, how we are doing it, and as to how you individually may cooperate with us to help those who may have greater momentums than you, but have no contact. They have not the faith within themselves to bridge the abyss of reason and enter into the realm wherein we abide. We are using you, the student body, and those who have accepted the ascended masters as real, to bridge that great abyss. In your occult and spiritual teachings, that chasm is referred to constantly. There are many who cannot pass it. There are many highly evolved and developed life streams in orthodox channels who, for superstitious reasons, for fear of ridicule, of bigotry, and other weaknesses that are within the soul, are unable to grasp the unseen hand of the Master, or accept the reality of the radiation and the power that you individually and collectively have been able to do. There is your tremendous service and opportunity. Beloved ones, I remind myself constantly that I must not release such tremendous energy. I am accustomed to working constantly in a cosmic capacity, and I beg your indulgence. I become fired with enthusiasm to fan your light and set you free. Forgive me. How can a hierarchy fulfill the divine plan of the Godhead through unascended beings unless they can talk to them, unless they can tell them what they are doing and give them an opportunity to volunteer to assist them? How can a sainted hierarchy upon marble pedestals that have been denied the use of intelligence and voice for centuries do much except by radiation? You are those to whom we have confided our plans, our hopes. Those of us who have walked the way of earth have confided our homely little personal experiences, the way we attained our victory. We have endeavored by sharing with you the fact that we are men and women like yourselves, to draw you close in the realization of our reality and our accessibility. You would not be here if you did not accept the possibility that we are real. Some of you do not accept it fully, but a goodly number do. I am grateful for that fact. I am grateful for every opportunity that you afford any member of our eager brotherhood to reach through the veil. God bless you for it. Your master, Saint Germain, I cannot close without speaking of him. Have you thought of the fact that he was chosen to represent the Father to Jesus? All through the impressionable years when that baby had no remembrance of the eternal Father, whom he was destined to externalize, Joseph was close by, and within his love and compassion and brotherhood, and his great all-encompassing mercy, yet with all his strength and his protective power, he was to that infant and growing boy the embodiment of the eternal Father, which one day Jesus in himself would draw through his own flesh. Yes, Jesus was born without karma. He was born without sin, as the Orthodox world says. He was born to a great destiny, a destiny whereby, through his own flesh body, and far more difficult through his etheric body, his own feelings and his mental form, He was to externalize for the entire Christian dispensation the nature of God, the great I am in the world of form. Jesus submitted, as Mary before him, and you and others have done since, to the law of this octave when the bands of forgetfulness were bound around that soul, shining and brilliant as it was before his sacrifice, and he was born a tiny infant. It was many years before the Holy Christ self could flash through the consciousness the immaculate concept of the Eternal Father, but the wisdom of the law, beloved ones, gave him an embodied Father as magnificent as any human being that has walked the way of earth, a magnificent tribute to the strength of Saint Germain, a magnificent thought for you to ponder over. It wasn't until the beloved Jesus had attained his majority that the picture which Joseph expressed was no longer required. I was there that day when Mary and Jesus bade him goodbye. I was there when his soul slipped from its earthly tabernacle. I wiped the tears from Mary's eyes with my own hands as she said goodbye to her protector. Do you know how she loves him? Do you know how Jesus loves him and how I love him? Of all the sons and daughters of heaven, I can say in honesty, he is one most loved, and you are his children. 2,000 years now stretch ahead of you, and what can you do for him? Make this activity what he hopes it will be. You know, let us give a gift this season to your Master. Let it be as much your interest as his to make the coming of these cherubim, which is of such deep interest to his heart, something that will abide with you throughout the year. Saint Germain has wanted to establish a brotherhood of angels and men. To this end, he brought a number of cherubic beings earthward with some trepidation, much prayer and hope. They have remained. May I say this, cherubim, angels, devas, all those who work with the angelic kingdom are feeling beings. They are radiations of feeling. They are qualities. In other words, they are virtues. They are truth, happiness, love, peace, and purity. O beloved King of the Seraphim, great and mighty one, we are ready. Descend now, O thou glorious and gentle spirits. Abide in peace in the world of men. Show your Master that you can walk hand in hand with human evolution. Know that you are no farther from me than a prayer or a call. Know that these hearts are sweet and earnest. Show them the joy of the angels and the beauty and the peace. Little ones, I leave you in the company of men and women dedicated to the King of Kings. Beloved ones, accept the cherubim as your friends. I thank you, and good night.